So I was investing into myself. And that's another key point that I tell a lot of my people that I mentor or just look at my live stream is invest in yourself. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have money for this or I don't have money for that. But then you see them on the weekend buying drinks that are 15 euros or whatever it is, you know, like it's how much are you worth and how much are you willing to put into yourself and invest to get the results that you want, you know. And that's a big issue with not just music, but anything in life. You know, people are scared to take a risk and to get out of the comfort zone in order to get that financial freedom that you really need.
Hey, I'm Graham Farmer, founder of the dance music magazine Data Transmission and Twitch partner, streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays from 1 p.m. On this channel, we share the full interviews from my Twitch streams. But before we jump into this interview, if you can help this video get more reach by giving it a like and a comment, it'd be most appreciated. And don't forget to consider subscribing so you always get notified when we drop new interviews. Hello, Oscar.
What's going on? How are you?
Hey, welcome to my Twitch stream.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Well, how are you? Whereabouts are you in the world? Tell us.
Doing well. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now.
So did you grow up there?
No, so I was born in Venezuela, grew up in South Florida in Miami since I was 5 to around 18 years old. And then I was working with a few record labels in Los Angeles. So I was living in Los Angeles for around 4 or 5 years. Yeah. And then with the whole pandemic thing, I chose to move to Atlanta where my family resides.
Nice. Okay. So then, for those who don't know, tell us. I literally want to work through the kind of journey and your kind of where you are from where you started to where you are now, because some of the chat might not know who you are and like what music you make and kind of how you got to that point. So let's start right at the start. Like, where did you start listening to music? When did you start getting into dance music? Start there.
So I was in jazz band for my entire life. And then at 16, I asked for my first DJ mixer. And I was already writing music on the piano, violin, clarinet. And as I got more in love with electronic dance music, things started progressing faster and faster. The more time I put into it and connecting the dots. So when I was 17, 18, I was actually doing some tours with Wiz Khalifa, Ray Shremmerd, did the whole West Coast tour with Zed for Colors a couple of years ago. And just things started progressing. I started ghost producing for a lot of A-list artists. And things took me to where I'm at right now, which I'm really happy where I'm at. But now I'm focusing more on my own project, which is called Oro, which stands for gold in Spanish, which is more of a techno progressive house style music.
Nice. Oh, so you came through that kind of, so West Khalifa, so you came through a kind of more hip hop and that kind of route, is that right? And grime and...
Yeah, and it wasn't like I wanted to be in that. I was playing Monday through Sunday college parties, you know, for $200, $300 a night, just to be able to pay my rent, do whatever I could at that age. And more in-depth story, my parents went through a rough time, so I had to figure it out on my own. And I landed in that industry, which I'm not that fond of, but it was a good experience and it got me to the point where I needed to be at that time.
Okay, cool. And was that around the country or was that focused on one? Because obviously...
Yeah, it was around the country. I also toured with Breathe Carolina through Band's Warped Tour. I'm not sure if you guys remember what that was a few years back. But Band's Warped Tour was like with Blink-182, Linkin Park, etc. So it was more alternative, but I would be the DJ under them.
Wow. What years were this? What years were these?
This was, I was 18 through 21. So this was 8 years ago. Yeah. I stopped touring around 3-4 years ago. I stopped touring. My last show was with Zed in San Francisco. And I started mainly focusing on my project instead of just other people's projects. So I still ghost produce on a daily basis for big artists out there. But I'm mainly focusing on myself right now because I just realized I'm just putting too many people where I want to be instead of myself. And that's where we're at right now.
That's so fuck. So you were traveling. That's nuts. 18-year-old to 21. Yeah. You were traveling, like, were you on your own? Was this like
a tour bus traveling? So like sometimes when they had a show in Vegas, like it would be an issue. I would have to have like parents sign off on stuff and I would have to be from the DJ booth out to the hotel room. But it was nice. It was a good experience. Learned a lot of lessons, and yeah, that's where we're at.
Oh yeah, because the drink laws are 21 over there, so you are literally you're literally able
Yeah,
to
especially in
escorted.
Vegas.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
How is that? How is that mentally? Like, that's must have been fucking weird.
I mean, it was an amazing time overall. So I mean, I had a lot of problems with my manager at the time, which got me a lot of opportunities, but also stole a lot of money from me. That's when I chose to take my own part, and I was working with a lot of artists under Sony,
Mm.
and started moving to Los Angeles when I was 20 or 21 years old.
How did this all come up? So it's just from you DJing college parties, and then it kind of
DJing
you.
college parties, this manager wanted to manage me, and he was the
Yep.
one booking all these shows. So he was Ray
Gotcha.
Shremmerd's, Wiz Khalifa's like booking agent in all of the East Coast. So from that,
Right.
it was just plug and play, and that's one thing that I recommend to people. Also, is in order for you to get the foot in the door, it's who you know. So it's a lot of these artists you see play Coachella, EDC, Ultra. Doesn't have to be a main headliner, but to get in the foot in the door, it takes those kind of connections, and that's what really propels you to get to the next stage. So that's why I tell people, always be on top of your game wherever you go, look sharp, and then you never know who you're going to run into and what connection you can make from it as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Okay, so this is a mad start. Like I was like kind of thinking, well, we made some music, we did some like no, we went touring around the whole of the US, and then we kind of calmed down. Fuck. Okay, let me just compact that a little bit. Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow. I guess things like social media and stuff kind of happened along the way because you were basically recording what you were doing.
Yeah, social media was when I started. It was the end of high school, start of college when Instagram started rolling. Right now, Instagram is there's no growth in it. At least for me and a lot of people, that's an issue. That's why TikTok is so important now. To
Mm.
post 5 videos a week, I mean, that's your best asset you can have to grow right now. Is TikTok? It's the best algorithm. Instagram is just it is what it is now, but unless you run ads, it's really you're not even getting your own audience to see what you're posting. But yeah, that's how things started, social media, and then it's also the brand that you create. So my brand is more of like a lifestyle, giving back type of thing is what we're branding right now for the Oscar Olivo brand.
And then, so tell me, so your new project. Tell me about the new project. Sorry, what was that called again? Have we got a link for that?
It's Oro. Yeah, so this started, the more I traveled, I got my American passport, and the more I traveled, I was just absorbing a lot of sounds and cultures from around the world. And I started doing a lot of more Middle Eastern music mixed with techno and a lot of different sounds that I was implementing into other people's tracks. It's kind of like what Kashmir does. It's amazing sounds mixed with current dance music, and it works. So the whole idea is, as a producer, as an artist, is to find your distinct sound and that curate that sound and stay in that lane, to identify yourself. But it takes years, maybe never, for a lot of people.
Mm.
So I've had a roller coaster to get to the point where I'm at now, which I'm the most proud of this music that I've ever been in my life. And I'm super excited to share with the entire world and everything that we have lined up for this coming festival season and shows coming up.
So okay, right. So you playing these shows. When did it get like you obviously you played a load of shows on these tours. Then when did the production start? Was it kind of during the shows, or did you just stop? Did you have a break? Like what was the process?
Producing before I had shows. I was producing, and then as I was going, as I made more money, I would just start evolving my sound, through getting mentor classes, master classes, reading a lot, and just adapting sounds as I grew, and I started ghost producing when I was 18, 19 years old. So 3 years within producing professionally, I was already producing for a vast amount of people.
No way. Fuck. How was that?
It's been great. Sometimes it sucks to sell a track for a few $1,000s and then see it go, platinum record or whatever it is. But that's part of the journey, and you can't really get attached too much to these tracks that we work as a producer.
Although were those ghost produced tracks in house and techno and melodic, or was it kind of
a lot of from pop to country to techno, so it's a wide variety of things that I've been able to produce. So when it comes to producing, I'm pretty versatile when it comes to 2 tracks.
And this is going to be the demo session in a bit. Wicked. We can go across a load of the board. This is going to be cool.
100%.
So let's just carry on this little walk through your life, man. I'm enjoying this. It's been mad. So we did that mad tour. Then we were producing. When did the kind of first records come out, and how did that look? And were they under your name? Are they under a different alias? Like, talk to me about this kind of music releasing.
So the first artist that came to me, I'm not sure if you guys know of Breathe Carolina, but that's the first artist that reached out to me through SoundCloud. They used to be a big alternative band with Warped Tour and whatnot. And they reached out to me on SoundCloud, and I really had no idea who they were. At the time, they had a big song called Blackout, and they asked me to remix a few songs. And then as people started hearing my remixes, I did a remix with Justin Bieber, which got taken down from SoundCloud after having like 20 million views back when SoundCloud had like the 3 strikes. So I had a really large SoundCloud, and that's how things started picking up. And then just connecting the dots, you know?
Cool. Yeah, because I was looking at your SoundCloud earlier, and I was like, "Where's the?" So you had it? Did you lose your SoundCloud?
I lost over like 300,000 followers on SoundCloud.
What the fuck?
Because I made a Sorry Justin Bieber remix, and overnight it had millions of streams coming in, and then Universal just took that down.
Fuck's sake!
Yeah.
Was that intention? Did you like that track, or was it intentional? What was it kind of?
I was doing a new bootleg / remix every other week, so that's
right.
what I was doing, is releasing mashups and bootleg. That's what a lot of DJs like to support, and that's before all these record pools were out there. You know, now we have DJ City, we have record pools all over that we can just post and not get it taken down. But with SoundCloud, they were super strict back then, and that's when things were rolling for SoundCloud. That was the SoundCloud era for say, you know. So now we're in Spotify era, which we do a lot of different things on that. I haven't released a song in over two years now after my Spanish album, but I'm excited to show you guys what I'm working on now, and I think you guys will be really keen on this new sound and where it's headed.
That's cool. Right, so you sent me the email. Oh, we're back in. Here we go. Hey.
Yeah, I sent you the email with the current stuff. I think you guys will be more keen on this, especially with the sound that you guys put out there.
Tell me this sound. So when did you start producing this sound? Let's just read.
So this sound for Oro started around during the pandemic. It started, I started traveling right when the pandemic started, traveling all around the world. Actually, I was like, fuck the pandemic. Sorry, but yeah, we just started traveling a bunch, and it just started evolving, and I started falling in love more and more with this sound, which is becoming more mainstream now, actually. And it's kind of, I feel like electronic scene is getting a whole like rebrand, refresh now, from back in 2000. It's becoming, this is a new era, and that's how I see it. And yeah, I mean, the more I travel, the more I learn about the sounds that I want to implement into my music. And it's been awesome. I'm excited for you guys to hear it, and it's going to be a fun journey.
What is your production process? Are you in a box? Do you have hardware? How's that look for you?
I do have hardware, but I'm always on the go. So I do start a lot of my projects on the go and on my laptop, but it's mainly my whole process is within an hour or 2 hours, I don't have the vibe of the track going. It's not really happening, and you can ask a lot of producers, and that's kind of what a lot of mentalities go towards, it's things just start flowing, and maybe one day we can have like a production live stream, so people could actually see the in and outs of what people do. A lot of people are like, oh, you're a DJ, you press buttons, but that's not actually the facts. It's what we put in the back end stuff and the work we put in the other hours that really count for what we were worth.
Okay, let's try this now. we go. Holy crap, that's a big track. That sounded good,
Thank
dude.
you, I appreciate it.
So talk to me about that track. So there's a lot of questions in the chat then. Tell me how do you start tracks? Where do you start? What's the starting point?
That track, I don't know. It usually started with a lot of the bass line, try to play around. If I don't start with just a pad to hold things out and then play around with a lot of lead synths that I'm going to be using. I think for that track was mainly the atmospheric vibe of it, and then wrote around that. You know, I like to make people feel like it's a journey, that we're going through a whole journey, you know, and it puts you with that nailing guitar. It's very Spanish, but Middle Eastern with that vocal in the back. So I just like to make it feel like a movie scene in a way. So it's, you know, whatever, if you're in a club or you're drunk or whatever you're high on, you know, you can also enjoy it a lot, you know, and it takes you to a deeper level, which that's what a lot of DJs want to get to, you know, to get to that point, and not just a track that, you know, that everyone has, the same typical track that everyone releases, you know?
That's cool.
So, yeah.
That's cool. That sounds cool. It was sad, big as well. So someone asked in the chat, do you producing and mixing and mastering then market, or are you mastering at the same time?
No, so when I send them out, a lot of the time when I send a track, they still change some stuff, they add some vocals. It really depends on the client. You know, if it's a consistent client that's been coming back for the past 10 years or a couple of years, we kind of know the workflow of where we stand. It either goes from me to the label to the vocalist. You know, sometimes they just have they're just overseeing the whole project, you know, and they're just executive producers on it. And that's what a lot of people do nowadays, especially even bigger artists in the pop industry. They oversee a lot of the stuff, and then they get the final say. You know, it's kind of like the president in a way. So that's kind of how that works. But yeah, they're all work in progresses, but they're all pretty much mixed and mastered as I go. So when they get it, they get to hear kind of what the final product will sound like, or close to it.
And then your own music, like where you said this release is the one we just listened to is the next release coming. Is it coming on labels? Are you self-releasing? How's that look?
Yeah, so right now, my manager and I are working with a few different labels to see where we're going to find it as a home base. You know, as an electronic dance producer, it's kind of nice to be able to not be locked into one label like I've been in the past, or have some deals that really don't let you explore what's out there. You know, as an electronic producer, I say try to get with as many labels as you can that are really potent and strong out there, you know? For example, if you're with Insomniac, they help you get a lot of gigs. Ultra, same goes with that, you know, and vice versa with other companies.
Insomniac are a big brand, aren't they?
They're massive, yeah.
Yeah. And they've got labels that are right for that music as well, haven't they? Because they've got those other sub labels now that are pushing that music. So you were DJing and then you start producing, and then what happened during the pandemic? How was that for you?
The pandemic was fine because most of the money that I make, and you know how I make my income, is through producing. You know, shows were great. You know, when I was younger, I mean, $300 a day, Monday through Sunday, it was pretty good money. You know, at 17 to 21, 22. But the big shows I had, you know, with Zed, Ray Shremmer, it would be good money, but not what people think. You know what I mean? It was more of an opportunity for me. So I was investing into myself. And that's another key point that I tell a lot of my people that I mentor or just look at my live stream is invest in yourself. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have money for this, or I don't have money for that. But then you see them on the weekend buying drinks that are 15 euros or whatever it is, you know, like it's how much are you worth and how much are you willing to put into yourself and invest to get the results that you want, you know. And that's a big issue with not just music, but anything in life. You know, people are scared to take a risk and to get out of the comfort zone in order to get that financial freedom that you really need.
Okay, well, that's cool. That's pandemic. Yeah, I agree with you so much on that. Obviously, that's why we have our course for social media and from music marketing as well. So pandemic was a lot of production. I guess a lot of people went into that kind of space, didn't they? And then
pandemic was my most growth time.
Really?
Like it was for me, like the first 2 months, whatever, it was a little bit sucky. In Los Angeles, we couldn't leave. But then I went for a month and a half to Tulum, Mexico, and wrote music from the beach. Like I just did whatever I could so I don't go crazy in my apartment, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I traveled the most and I explored my sound and really dialed in on what was important, which is production, which will last me a lifetime, you know?
Yeah, of course. Cool. Should we listen to more music? What should we listen to next? Now we've got the music sorted.
There's a lot. What do people want to listen to right now? The Melodic Techno Tuesday is pretty interesting too. I think you'd really like that one. And these, by the way, another cool fact about 95% of these tracks on this 22 playlist is I made them all live on Twitch, most of them, which is pretty interesting with that.
Okay, let's talk about Twitch after this. We'll listen to this track, Melodic Techno Tuesday. Is this the one, March 8th V1, this one?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting track.
Bryson Thomas Music says after hours. So we'll play that one in a bit then as well.
That's an idea in works right now. But yeah, it's super different than things that you hear out there. But it's a mix of a lot of cultures and a lot of sounds that I'm just implementing in the tracks.
That's cool. I like the guitar in that. Okay, Plenitude, what DAW do you prefer?
I use Logic. So I started with FL Studios, and then Logic was my mentor, and the person who was helping me out a lot was using Logic, and it was just so user-friendly. Ableton for me was just not user-friendly for some reason, and I just started working with Logic, and it doesn't really matter what DAW you use as long as you're really just putting in the time and learning the in and outs of everything, which you still learn as the more you go. You learn little hacks here and there, you know?
Yeah, cool. And then you mentioned these are made on Twitch. So tell me, when did the Twitch thing start? How long have you been doing it? Where did that conversation happen for you?
So Twitch started. My manager got the opportunity for us to do this Twitch partnership, and it was honestly amazing just be able to connect fans in a deeper level than I was just on Instagram or however any other way, because they actually got to see the in and outs of not just music, but my life as well. You know, they went through a roller coaster from January. I was live streaming from January to last month. I stopped doing a lot of live streaming every day because it was kind of wearing me out. I was doing literally Monday through Sunday at 4:30 a.m. I would wake up to 7:30 because I started getting that fan base in Asia and Australia, and then I got stuck with that, it was fine because I learned actually from that waking up at 4:30 in the morning is the perfect time to write. You know, it's very quiet out, there's no noise, and it's just, you know, there's actually a few books out there that tell you waking up at 4:30. I think it's called the 4 a.m. Club, and you get a lot more done with life. You know, it's what I tell people: if you sleep 8 hours a day, that's a third of your life, you know? So take that with a grain of salt and take that into consideration for your life and what you're doing, you know?
Yeah, because I get up at 4:30 and I caught you at 4:30, and so you must have been up even earlier. Like that time, so you must have been up, maybe it was at 6 a.m. and you just started that time. And I caught you streaming. I was like, whoa, you're starting early.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been nice. Twitch has been awesome. I think there's a lot of opportunity for people who even don't stream to just view and learn a lot. There's a lot of people, as long as you find the right broadcaster and a right person, you can learn a lot from someone on Twitch, you know, just by sticking with them and really just seeing what they do. You know, I show everyone my plugins, what exactly I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And I'm always open to people asking me questions just so they can learn. You know, there's no reason for me to hide what I've learned or learning at the moment. You know?
That's cool. So is that the main focus of your stream? Because I know you did some DJ streams, but did you switch it up and just focus on?
I've done 2 DJ streams. So I've done one in South Africa a couple of weeks ago, a month ago now. I did one live from South Africa, which was amazing with the view of all of Cape Town. And so that's what I'm mainly starting to do, is just do awesome live DJ sets from different destinations around the world. But when I'm home, I mainly like to just focus on producing and helping others get to a solid point in their production.
That's cool. What's your biggest Logic hack? Asks Loz, my assistant, who also is a Logic user.
Biggest Logic hack. It's not really a hack. It's just I have my workflow now, I guess, with the plugins that I like to use. Yeah. So it's like when I dive into a session, it's like, let's get the skeleton down and then go from there.
Go on. What's your biggest plugins then? What plugins are your go-tos? Let's go for that then, maybe.
Definitely Serum. A lot of the output stuff is really nice. But Serum is my main baby. You know what I mean? Once you get things down or get sounds that actually sound right. I have a good friend. His name's Rafi. He goes by Sound Factory. Makes amazing presets for Serum, you know? And then once you have a solid foundation with that, then it's just ear candy and stuff that you're adding to the track in order to make it full and sound what you want it to sound like. Skeleton
Keys says in the chat, someone say skeleton. I let you know when he said that. Do you know when he said that, dude? I literally was thinking of Skeleton Keys. I was like, he's gonna pop up any second, and he did. Love it.
That's funny.
Right, gang in the chat. So, as we know, POAPs, we're into these. Have you got? I was telling you about these before. So, in our Twitch streams, I interviewed the plastician a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me about these NFTs that basically they're free. They're free for me to create. They're free to give out, and they're kind of like proof of attendance. That's what they stand for. Proof of attendance protocol. So I've started making these digital stickers and POAPs for my live stream. So I've made one for today, and I'm going to start dropping links in the chat. If you see one, grab it. All you need to do is put your email address and you can claim it. If you've got a MetaMask, which is an app either for Chrome or for your phone, you can put your ID in. I've got 100 links. There's 19 people here, so there's going to be one for each of you. So grab them. They are on the Ethereum.
So Graham's giving away 10 Ethereums, right? Is that what you said?
No. So these are, yeah, right. Fucking hell. Here he is. 10 Ethereum. No way. That's fucking loads. So no, basically you just go to the link. So I'm going to drop another one now. You just go and claim it. And then at the end of the year, you'll have a load of these on your phone. They're like basically like panini stickers, like garbage pails or football stickers for your phone. They're quite cool. I quite like them. I like collecting stickers, so I'm into them. And there's going to be one for each of our streams. And at the end of the year, we can use this thing called a POAP raffle, and I can give out prizes from depending on which POAPs you've got. If you've been part of certain streams, then there might be unlocks later in the year. All a bit of fun. So then you started Twitch streaming up to last month. Are you still streaming?
I am. I'm doing less. I'm going to start doing once or twice a week now that I'm home. I do leave back for a few shows starting in June in Europe, so I'm going to be away for about a month and a half. But I'll still do some live streams. I'm planning on doing a live stream from Mykonos for July 4th, and do like a little birthday gig from the villa. You know,
sick. Has your kind of 6 month period? Is that your first 6 months? Are you over that now? Are you into that kind of hustle bit where it's the first 6 months and you've got to just stream fuckloads of hours, which was fun, but also knackering for me. I don't know what it was for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was awesome, and it honestly got all these tracks done. You know what I mean? It was me waking up and getting inspired. Some days I didn't want to do that, you know, and I was just doing more of the talking like this and really helping other people, doing demo feedbacks. But yeah, I also got to learn and meet a lot of new people out there that that needed help. I've started ghost producing for some people on there, and I've also helped and got a few jobs for a few people on there. So it's been nice to be able to help each other, you know?
That's really cool. I know you mentioned before. You mentioned in our email thread you have a non-profit. Tell me about this.
I do. So the way my nonprofit started was during the pandemic. I literally booked a safari for me and my best friend to go. And while we were in Tanzania, part of the safari was going through a cultural tour through a village called Matombo, and it's right outside the entrance of Lake Manjara, around an hour and a half from Arusha. I literally, when I went into the school, I just started fucking crying. Literally, it was just very impactful to me. To see, it was very sad to see the way these kids were learning, you know, without desks, chairs, no anything, you know, not the bare minimum that anyone and any kid should have to learn. And when I got back to the hotel that night, I literally had that spark of idea. I wanted to open up music school for kids in less fortunate countries in the world. And that's when Together We Can Foundation was founded. And from there, we've been doing a lot of legal work to get all the paperwork done in America. It's called the 501c3 form, which makes us tax exempt. And right now, we're looking to raise around $100,000 to break ground in the first school, which will have like 6 classrooms for music, also English, math, and have dorms for volunteers to stay in when they do visit. And the whole ideal goal for that is to have bigger artists come, do a little one-on-one session for a day or two with the kids, and then enjoy a safari for the rest of the week.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, so it's been an awesome journey.
That's amazing. Should we give it? Let's give him the. That's amazing. You can have this. You can have the whole.
Yeah, it's just the start of everything now. So until we wait for those paperwork to finish, we've just been raising money through GoFundMe. So if anyone wants to donate, we're going back again in July. I like to personally go there and deliver money or anything instead of sending. You know, it's sad to say, but the whole continent of Africa is very corrupt. Not that the whole world isn't corrupt, but when it comes to money, you might send 10,000 euros, $10,000, and you might not see that, you know, so I like to be hands-on and try to go every 3 to 4 months to make sure everything's being allocated properly.
That's cool. Surround says he's have to hook you up with the guys from Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, which is actually a great idea because they did loads of work in Tanzania as well.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'd love to.
They're a charity based in Europe, and they do loads of stuff in that area.
That's really the correct link. So we were raising money for Christmas gifts, which that was an amazing experience. I went with 4 of my friends, my girlfriend and 3 friends, and we literally brought them 2 duffel bags full of like Barbies, little cars, everything, and just seeing the faces in these kids, you know, like sometimes in life we're so ungrateful and like we go have a drink or, oh, we don't like this martini or this or that. And it's just so petty, you know? And I think it's when you really get to see this part in life and how these people are living, you really get to see life with a different perspective.
Some questions from the audience. Skeleton Keys, were you approached directly or via management what was that for? For via management, what's that for?
I think that's for when I started. I heard that, I read that. So I was literally, like I said, doing DJ sets for 5 to 6 hours at like hookah bars, restaurants, wherever I could when I first started, 16, 17 years old. I moved out when I was 17, so I had to figure out how to pay rent at that time. And this manager came up to me and his name was Justin Frazier. Never worked with him, by the way. Blacklisted. He brought me a lot of opportunities, so I can't put him down for that. But he definitely owed me and a bunch of people money, screwed me over a bunch. But, you know, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have met my mentor. I wouldn't have had Ray Shremmer gigs, Wiz Khalifa. I wouldn't have been playing at all the shows that I have. So I will say thanks for that. But, I mean, there's ways to go about business, you know. I mean, I learned a lot from that. And, yeah, now we're at where we're at. So we can't really be complaining. It's what you make out of a scenario, you know?
And yeah, and what you learn from it as well. Like there's been some bad things that happened to me, and you just now you look back on them and go, it was what it was. I learned a load of shit. I got a load out of it. Okay, cool. Can't do anything about it. Learn from it.
Exactly.
Surround sound. You mentioned jazz band. What instruments do you play?
So right now I play the keys. That's it. But I used to play. I mean, I played the clarinet for 6 years and stopped when I started producing it at 17. I was playing from like 12. I think I got my violin when I was 5, and I went through like every instrument, but I mainly stuck with clarinet and saxophone. And
Nice.
I'm able to implement that all through my MIDI nowadays, which is it's crazy. People hear my tracks, oh, that's you playing the trumpet or you playing this, and it's not. It's all digital. And it's all the way you automate these sounds in order to make them even feel more real.
That's cool. Would you say your composing is your strong point over sound design, for instance?
No, I would say sound design is really big. I think when you hear my sound and Skeleton, I'd be happy to send you that playlist that I send Graham as well, so you can have a little dive into it. Definitely just the sound design is very important. So I think being balanced in those two is very key. Sound design is huge for getting that sound that you want as an artist, to have that Oro sound, and if Zed has that Zed sound or whatnot. So that's, I think, more crucial for any artist to have.
Are you getting credit on any of those Ghost productions, or is it just completely sold to the record label?
It depends. It all depends on the artist. It all depends on the deal. It's literally song to song basis. Some songs it's just here's a flat out pay, and you're done. And then some you get some credit, some pay. It just really depends. It's a song to song basis. It depends on the artist. Sometimes I don't even want my name on it. It has to go with what I stand for as well. So,
Gotcha.
like I said before, like I have a lot of dubstep and trap artists who are working with a lot of big artists out there, but I don't want my name to be in that. Like I don't like that. So it's just I want a flat rate, and that's it.
I mean, you said you're coming over to Europe, but let's talk about how's the gigs been this year? How's that been for you so far? How's the rest of the year looking?
The gigs have been good. I think right now, like I said, have been more focused on just the production side, getting these out and getting ready for the launch of it. Once these songs come out, the more gigs I'm going to be getting. The gigs that I've been playing right now are Mexico, Dubai. Supposed to have a show in Munich coming up on June 24th. And then from there, it's mainly just production. So like what I said is I miss DJing. So that's why I'm focusing on this project to come out. Then once it's out, it's game over, like I said,
Nice. Cool. Okay. One of them as well. Wicked. Should we listen to the track? Right. What someone said after hours.
Yeah, After Hours. That's his favorite. So we can play that out.
Let's do After Hours then. Wow, that was a big track. Let's give it a little rave on. Yeah. The rave on for that
Definitely a lot of energy on that track.
one. Yeah, that's sick.
Thank you, dude.
So you're going to, I said you seen the chat, you're going to Spain?
My schedule's pretty crazy coming up, for sure. From Istanbul to Cappadocia, Milan, Venice, Rome, Mykonos, Ibiza, and then so on.
Where are you playing in Ibiza?
I'm not playing in Ibiza. I have a few clients and a few friends who just got residency with Calvin Harris and Black Coffee. So
Nice.
I'll be out there supporting and partying,
Nice.
That's what we do in Ibiza, right?
Yeah, nice. What you said about TikTok earlier? Is that your main platform now?
No, I'm starting to get more into it, but the more I realize my content on Instagram isn't really growing,
Mhm.
it's what we have left. You know what I mean? So right now it's just pushing things on TikTok. I think are ideal, and that's what I tell a lot of artists that I ghost produce or work with. It's crucial to use it to your advantage. You know.
What are you? How often are you posting on there? What's your strategy on there? And what are you putting up from content wise? What are you putting up there?
Well, I'm just starting right now, but it's literally the more my clients have been doing it, the more I see them having an exponential growth there. You know, and it's more organic. Right now, I'm just posting stuff with my music from my travels, and that's about it with that.
What do you do for downtime? Obviously, music is kind of up. You started as a hobby, and then it's become your job. What do you do to get away from music and relax and not be in
Travel.
music?
Honestly, I love traveling. I love photography. So when I'm not working on music, I'm probably planning a trip. And
Nice.
I do own a digital marketing company that I run a lot of billboards in Times Square, do Spotify promotions, but mainly it's billboards in Times Square. So me and my business partner partnered up with a huge company in Times Square and in New York that mainly focuses on billboards. So on Times Square, you'll see like for example, if you wanted to have a Times Square, I get it for a fraction of the price for my artists and my clients. So that's something that takes a little bit of time when I'm not busy with music.
Sick. That's well cool.
Yeah.
Loz,
Yeah.
when we get that call up for Radio One, we can get a billboard in Times Square.
You guys definitely should. It's honestly what I tell people. It's definitely an accomplishment. You know.
Yeah, a shed head billboard. Yeah, that's really cool. What is that? I bet it costs loads. Yeah.
No, it costs less than you think. You know what I mean? You can definitely message me and I'll send you my email and with the prices. But no, usually it would cost you a weekend. It would cost you 30 to 50K for sure in Times Square, you know, because of the traffic. But it's nowhere near that, and it's very affordable. You know, for 5,000, you can have it up for a day or two. You know, just to say the least, which is a steal. You know.
That's pretty funny.
It's all digital, which is really cool. You know, they're huge. You can see some of my Instagram. I've had a few billboards up there that I do for my releases. So yeah.
What? So you mentioned photography. I love photography. What do you shoot on? Tell me about that.
I shoot on a Sony A7R IV. So that's my baby right now. I'm obsessed with it. I gotta actually go get it fixed. I dropped my backpack getting back from Thailand last 2 weeks ago. And something broke on my camera. I got to get it fixed. It's not a big issue, but yeah, I love photography. I was taking photography classes when I was 12 to like 15, just to learn the fundamentals. That was like one of the extra curriculum activities in my school. And I fell in love with it. You know, I started with a Rebel T3i, then I had a Sony A6300, and now I have this huge monster, which is amazing for photography and everything, including for travel, for anything, you know.
Nice. Yeah, nice. You because I see some amazing photos on your Insta, like hugging elephants was incredible. First and foremost.
Yeah. So people always ask me like, do you travel with a photographer? But it's not. It's either my girlfriend or whoever. One of my friends who travels with me. I just set the settings, give them my camera, and then I do everything post production type thing, you know.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. Find time for friends and family. I have a lot of time, so it's with music. I work really fast, and then it's my circle of friends is really close. My family, I have my mom, my sister. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I mean, it's you make time for those who matter. That's how I'll leave that. You know.
Yeah, cool.
You really do. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how busy you are. It's bullshit if people say that you're too busy for you and they just don't want to be with you. Sorry to break it to you.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So when are you streaming next? What's the plan for the rest of the month and the rest of the...
I don't have a schedule right now for streaming. I'm going to upload my schedule for next week. I'm going to do... Just because I'm really in the mixing process right now, sending it out for mastering for all these tracks that I sent you guys. So yeah, I'm really not focused right now much on Twitch, but I will be on next week. So I will post it on my Instagram so you guys can be up to date. If you guys want to learn some more production and in-depths of how I do write my tracks, how I start, and ask me any other question you guys want, I'll be on next week for sure, at least once or twice.
Wicked. Should we listen to one more of yours before we get out of here? before you get out there. And I'll
Yeah,
carry on
let's
with
see.
the
Do you guys want to listen to some Latin house?
Yeah, let's
We got
do
some
it.
Latin house here. You can put. All right,
Let's
cool.
do
Go
it.
to Narcos, FWS Narcos. That one's cool.
Oh yeah. Gotcha. Let's play one of yours.
Then you can play You Know Me Better after.
That was a big track, wasn't it? All the Garys there in the chat. Let me know. Thank you for joining me, dude. This has been great fun.
Likewise, bro. Thanks for having me.
It's been really good fun. And I can't wait to hear some of his music get out there, man. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I'm super stoked, and I'll definitely share with you guys so we can all support each other.
Yeah, and definitely come on back on and we'll do some production at some point. That'd be cool.
100%, dude. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you guys for all the support. And like I said, if you guys ever need anything or you guys want some in-depth production masterclasses, just tune into my Twitch next week. And yeah, much love, guys. Appreciate it.
Amazing. Oscar, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I'll see you soon, all right?
See you soon, man. Cheers, dude.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.
If you found this interview interesting, consider giving it a like and a comment. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and let me know your biggest takeaway below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I'm back on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and you can check out the schedule from the link below as well to see who's coming up in my interview series. I'll see you in the next Twitch stream or the next YouTube video. I'll see you soon. Bye.